So we go now from Seattle, Washington, to Denver, Colorado, where another parent is also fighting against possible deportation by seeking sanctuary in a church. On Thursday, I spoke with Jeanette Vizquera, a mother of 4 children who's taken refuge in the First Unitarian Society Church of Denver out of fear she would be arrested and deported to Mexico if she went to her scheduled check-in with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. She has lived in this country for 20 years. She has 4 children here. I began by asking her by Skype as she sat in the church with her translator how she decided to seek sanctuary in the church.
So in 2012, when I came back to the United States from my mother's funeral, I knew that my case depended only on the discretion of Immigration and Customs Enforcement because my court process had already ended. And I came back to the U.S., I knew that I was going to need to organize more protection, not only for myself, but for other people in the community. And I began working with the American Friends Service Committee to create the Sanctuary Coalition. So fortunately for me, I have not needed to enter refuge or sanctuary here at the church. The first person who benefited from that was Arturo Hernandez Garcia, and thanks to God that he was able to go home and is still here with his family. And what led me to take the decision this time in my case was the silence from Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Homeland Security about my stay application that I submitted on December 7th. They kept saying over and over again that they were just reviewing my case, They wouldn't give us any information. And then last week, with the arrest and deportation of Guadalupe, as well as the detention of a young dreamer named Daniel, who has DACA, I decided that it was not worth the risk to go and present myself at Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
You have lived in the United States for 20 years. Why did you come here in 1997?
Sí, tengo 20 años viviendo aquí. Yo vine en el año 97.
Yes, I came here in 1997. First, my husband came, and 3 months later, myself and my oldest daughter came to the United States. And we came because my husband, who was working as a chauffeur for a bus company, had suffered 3 kidnapping experiences while driving the bus.
You have 4 children. Can you tell us how old they are and what their names are?
Ya tengo 4 niños.
Yes, I have 4 children. My oldest is almost 27. Her name is Tanya, and she's protected by the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. And then my other 3 were born here in the United States. Luna is 12, Roberto is 10, and my littlest is 6. Her name is Suri.
And how are the children affected by what's happening to you right now? They came with you into the church.
So my children have been walking this journey with me for many, many years now. They have always been by my side in the work that I do in the community. And so we have talked many times over the years about what would happen on a day like this. Ever since we founded the Sanctuary Coalition, I have talked with them about there might be a day that I would need to take refuge in the church. None of us were happy about the decision that came down yesterday from Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We were all hugging and crying together, but my children said to me, "I'm so glad that you are safe." And the difference for them is that I'm not deported to Mexico. And they kept saying, "You're in a safe place, Mama. It's going to be okay."
What message, Jeanette, do you have for President Trump?
So my message for President Trump is that he's doing a bad job administering the country. The decisions that he's making are a big mistake.
and that not only with the immigrant community from Latin America, but also communities from around the world, the Muslim community, Southeast Asian communities, and other communities. What would happen to this country if you lost the labor force of immigrants here in the United States? Who would pick crops, work in your hotels, restaurants, and construction? Who would keep the engine of the economy moving forward? If he continues to target the immigrant community, it's this whole country that will suffer the consequences economically. So the other message that I would like to say to President Trump is, I'm just a mother who wants to work hard for her children and be with her family, and that's all that I've ever done in this country. And even though you have money and you have power, that money and power will not help you if your children are ever suffering, if they're ever sick. It won't change the fact that they're suffering harm. And I wish that you would think of the harm that you're causing my children. The other thing that I want to ask is, supposedly I'm a criminal because I drove without a license, because I had expired stickers on my car, because I had false documents to work and put food on the table for my children. But what should we call you, Mr. President Trump, when you've been evading taxes for years, when the way that you've been acting is not in keeping with good conscience?
Eso es evasión de impuestos y también es un crimen.
That is often misunderstood in this country, that you, Jeanette, have paid taxes all of these years.
Yeah, por 20 años, desde el año 98 que yo comencé a
Yes, my husband and I have both paid taxes the whole 20 years that we've been living here. Every year we have paid taxes and we've contributed our labor. And what many people don't know is that immigrants can't access the benefits of those taxes, any of the programs. That all stays here with this country. So I would like to ask, if you're going to deport me, are you going to return 20 years of labor and taxes to me before I go, everything that I've contributed here?
That's Jeanette Vizguera, who came to the United States from Mexico 20 years ago in 1997. She's one of the founders of the Metro Denver Sanctuary Coalition, and she's helped other undocumented immigrants seek sanctuary. She's previously won 5 postponements of deportation, but said Wednesday she doubts she could win a similar reprieve under the Trump administration. And so she has taken refuge in Denver's Unitarian Church. For more